'Twas the night before Racing Christmas, and all through the speedways, all knew the bullshit was coming, and sighed in dismay. Welcome to Racing Christmas, a once amazing day of motorsports, now tarnished by mediocre racing and terrible broadcasting. I was looking forward to this day all year long, because last year was pretty great. We had the storybook of Charles Leclerc winning his home race of Monaco. We had an amazing last lap battle at Indy for Joseph Newgarden to go back to back, and the Coke 600, well, it was the Coke 600. Pretty sure it got called early for rain. Let's see how far we've fallen from glory, and see how we're going to be punished for our sins against Dale Sr. and Ayrton Senna. Starting off, we had the Monaco parade. I mean Grand Prix. But it was a parade. Lando Norris got the pole position, and if you followed Monaco for more than about half a second, you already know he would go on to win. But the journey isn't the destination, it's the bullshit along the way. The FIA instituted a two-stop rule for Monaco, dictating that cars must pit twice in a desperate attempt to make the race interesting. Because why address the underlying issue when you can just throw a gimmick at it? This worked about how you would expect, not at all. George Russell decided he would test the FIA, so coming out of the tunnel, George sends it straight through the chicane to gain the spot from Alex Albon. On the radio, George said he would rather take the time penalty than give back the spot. Bold strategy.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
The FIA, sensing a threat to their position as the totally legitimate sanctioning body, gave George a pass-through penalty.
And you will respect my authority.
Gasly crashed out, Alonso broke down, all the drivers were annoyed by not being able to pass, and I remembered why I hate Europe. From the world's most expensive parade to a chaotic mess, the Indianapolis 500, God's favorite race in God's favorite state. Fight me.
Back home again in Indiana.
This race was surrounded by drama. Kyle Larson doing the double, Joseph Newgarden going for 3 in a row, Team Penske committing war crimes with the rear whatchamacallit, and Alex Palou winning 4 of 5 so far, but never having won on an oval. We were slated for an amazing race. Then it drizzled. Strike 1 for Kyle Larson doing the double. When the field gets rolling, Scotty Mack crashes into the wall on the front stretch during pace laps. What an absolutely devastating turn of events. He would later be seen absolutely trashed in the snake pit, drinking the pain away. On the same lap, Scott Dixon takes the instructions of warm the tires a bit too literally, and has himself a minor brake fire. He would go on to run the race anyway, because why let a little brake fire ruin your day? We finally get the field lined up in the iconic 3-wide formation, and the green flag flies, and not one corner in, whichever Andretti we're on now crashes out of the race before completing a single turn. The racing royalty of America showing the rest of the field how to throw away the whole afternoon right off the bat. So the caution comes out again, and then it starts to drizzle again. Strike 2 for Larson being able to do the double. On lap 30, Scott Dixon finally gets his left rear brake replaced, because now is the obvious time to address the issue, and not when it's, on fire. On lap 73, Alexander Rossi begins smoking on track and pulls into the pits to get it diagnosed. His car decides to do its best Burning Man impression and catches fire. As Rossi scrambles from his car, his fueler and the fuel probe catch fire. I can only describe the response from the team and the safety crews as, holy fuck, everything's on fire. Luckily, the fueler seemed okay, and the broadcast showed him getting a ride from the AMR crew to the care center. And my man must have balls of steel, because he looks almost annoyed, not that he caught fire, but that he had to go get checked out afterwards. As he's heading to the care center, Rinus VeeKay spins on pit road with no brakes, bringing out the caution. Under the caution, Robert Schwartzman, the first rookie to ever sit on pole, thanked his team by high-fiving them with his race car. He plows into the fueler and left front tire changer and knocks himself out of the race. Well done, Bobby. On the restart, on lap 92, Kyle Larson spins in turn 2, collecting Kiffin Simpson and cult leader Stingray Robb. This would go on to end all their races. For his crime against Arabis, Kyle Larson was sentenced to return to NASCAR, a fate worse than death. Strike 3 for the double, and my hopes and dreams are out. On lap 120, Indiana's own Connor Daly takes the lead of the race. Everyone liked that. With 68 to go, he would come into pit and lose the lead, with no chance at all to get it back. Sad. When Connor came into pit, he was followed by Joseph Newgarden, who had been charging through the field from the back on his quest of the three-peat. However, God finally decided he doesn't like Team Penske and trashes Joseph's fuel system, ending his day. Sorry about you, Joseph. Better luck next year. So Alex Palou would go on to win his first oval race ever and continues his dominant run in 2025. On Monday, IndyCar announced all the Andretti cars failed post-race inspection, meaning all 3 cars were scored as the last 3 cars in the field. So to review, Andretti doesn't pass tech, their race is deleted. Penske doesn't pass tech, just start from the rear. Yay, consistency. Now, I want to rant a bit about the smooth-brained Europeans who shit on oval racing. I made the mistake of tuning in briefly to P1 with Matt and Tommy as they did their Indy 500 watch-along. Now, I dig me some Matt and Tommy, but the fans in the comments were some of the lowest IQ dipshits I've ever seen, complaining how Indy was even more boring than Monaco. Now look here, you brain-dead, monarch-having, communist, universal healthcare-loving, inbred morons. Just because the Americans do something doesn't mean it's dumb. You know what's dumb? Having a race with cars that are too wide for a track that is too narrow. But God forbid we admit that Monaco is no longer suitable for racing with today's cars. We have to consider it a crown jewel. Because we always have. Now I shit on NASCAR, and that's kind of the whole reason I started this channel. But you know what they've started doing? Changing the schedule. Nobody liked Texas. They lost a date. People wanted to go back to North Wilkesboro. Boom. They made it happen. What they don't do is put on actual parades. Because I do not know how you can call Monaco a race. A continent that cannot trust its citizens to own pocket knives does not get to criticize the USA. Now that I've alienated a large part of the English-speaking world, let's continue to dial up the freedom with NASCAR. The Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, one of NASCAR's crown jewels because they race 600 miles, and that's pretty much it. This also happened to be Daddy Bezos' first race of the year. That's right. As part of the new TV deal, NASCAR has given a stretch of races to Amazon Prime for sole coverage. And all the boomers online were bitching about it, as if they haven't already figured it out due to Thursday Night Football. But God forbid we ask NASCAR fans to change, or ask them to accept the way things are. What I'm saying is, we're a bunch of assholes.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Chase Briscoe and Kyle Larson led the field to green, and I proceeded to question my life choices that brought me to watching this race. On lap 42, Kyle Larson spins out on the stretch a couple laps after he smacked the wall. The pain shall continue. He would later go a lap down, repairing some of the damage, but would fight back to the lead lap. On lap 97, Alex Bowman smacks the wall and spins down the front stretch as well, because why have only one Hendrick car crash? On lap 117, Jimmy Johnson, Connor Zilisch, and Cole Custer all crash, and once again, it's coming off of turn 4. Jimmy Johnson, who is starting his 700th race in Cup, gets loose and spins in front of Zilisch, who's starting like his second or third race ever. Once again, Jimmy Johnson shows us why he's not racing full-time. On lap 221, Zane Smith reminds me he is a NASCAR driver and spins on the backstretch and smacks the inside wall hard. Moving on. On lap 245, Daniel Suarez, Chase Briscoe, and Ryan Blaney come out of, you guessed it, turn 4. Now to me, it looks like Suarez pushes Briscoe up the track just as Blaney was coming down off the wall. This causes the Typhoon of Terrible, sending Daniel down the track to tag Justin Haley and Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson was having himself one no good, very bad day. Now the rational side of me wants to say this is nothing more than a racing incident. Nobody did anything egregious. Feces occurs. On the other hand, as an open Hendrick fan, I need a blood sacrifice. So congrats Daniel Suarez for committing your latest war crime. We will come back to you. On lap 308, Carson Hocevar, who had worked his way up the field, blows up on the restart. The engine builder for his team will now be sent to the rice fields with Carson for his crime against the people and state.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker!
On lap 392, Ross Chastain takes the lead from William Byron. Ross trashed his car earlier in the weekend, meaning his team had to build him a new car overnight. Apparently, when they rebuilt it, they installed a rocket in it. So Ross Chastain wins the Coke 600 after driving from the back, and I continue to question my life. Now let's do some awards. If you think I missed one, please feel free to tell me about it in the comment section. The best one gets nothing. The Danica Patrick Levels of Motorsport Knowledge Award goes to me for giving Ross Chastain This Is Why No One Likes You, You Big Dumb Dipshit award last week for his bullshit at Kansas. This is now the third time I've given this award to a driver and they win the following week. Well done, you brain dead moron. The I Fought the Law and the Law Nuked Me award goes to George Russell for a shortcut at Monaco. Nobody, and I mean nobody, tolerates challenges to authority less than the FIA. Even Stalin would be impressed. The That Paint Scheme Restores My Faith in Humanity award goes to the 24 of William Byron. That was a clean paint scheme. The 2025 IndyCar Series Championship goes to Alex Palou. We've only run 6 out of 17 races so far, but seeing how Alex has won all but one, I really don't see anyone else making a run. At this point, Alex might as well be the Death Star and the rest of the field, Alderaan. The Holy Shit That Broadcast Made Me Want to Fucking Die award goes to Fox for the Indy 500. Because why would I want to watch the greatest spectacle in racing when I could just watch ads? The Wow, That Was Actually a Good Broadcast award goes to Amazon Prime for the Coke 600. I hate to say it because I view Mike Joy and Larry Mack as basically saints, but Daddy Bezos absolutely demolished Fox. No missed green flag laps, graphics that made sense, and no Clint Boyer.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
The This Is Why No One Likes You, You Big Dumb Dipshit award goes to Daniel Suarez for crashing out Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson. This is multiple times now that Daniel Suarez has acted like a lobotomite and ruined other people's races. I would say let's deport him, but he's actually a naturalized U.S. citizen, so I'm open to ideas. Also, I would note that Daniel still does not have a ride locked up for next year. Maybe we tighten it up there a bit, buddy. Next week, NASCAR heads to Nashville, IndyCar goes to Detroit, and F1 will be in Barcelona. Another day of 3 races, but this time, no one's going to give a fuck. What are my predictions? I'm so glad you asked, voice in my head. I would guess NASCAR is a shit show, Alex Palou will win an IndyCar, and Ferrari will fuck something up in F1. So to review, Team Penske is a wretched hive of scum and villainy, Daniel Suarez is a wanted war criminal, Monaco needs to be converted into a Buc-ee's, and Ross Chastain hurts my brain. The race is on, and it looks like heartache, and the winner loses all.